Hi everyone, this is Lola Shaffer again. Today we're going to be talking about something new, another show. So I've been following Ready to Love. Today we're going to talk about this episode. So this is now the season 4, and this is episode 3, I believe. So anyway, Ready to Love. Let's go. We'll go all the characters in. We know the difference with this season now is that, nephew Tommy's wife is going to be involved in some shape or form. She was in the first episode. We haven't seen her yet. So once again, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. All right, so we already know that we have had two males already gone home. Fair enough. Christian, who was the mailman. And then, of course, Khalil, who was the teacher. They've been sent home last week. So now we have 10 females and 8 guys. I didn't like that percentage. So I guess here they're trying to even it up a little bit now. So the males don't feel like they have an upper hand. So it opens up with a brunch. Everyone is there. You can have everyone going through. First thing I notice is Troy. He has some leering comment about Chrysanthemum, who he likes what she's wearing. That's either here nor there. We see one of the personalities who, I kind of like her. She's very atypical, strange, no filter Ida. She's actually someone she's feeling. For some reason, she likes Roy. I'm surprised. But anyway, she expresses her interest. Roy's moving around, talking, much of a joker. And then it is, further on, goes on to reveal when she's talking with Diedrich. Diedrich's like, I always find you joking, so I always have to friend zone you, but I'd like to know more about you. So they have that conversation. That's there. We have Tressa. And there seems to be a theme here. Tressa, who we know is a comedian, is reluctant to divulge that she's a comedian up front because she knows that's a reason why, based also because she's a full-figured female, she might be friend zoned for that reason as well. So rightfully so, she's not always disclosing that, I crack jokes for a living. Neither is she trying to crack jokes as she's meeting gentlemen. I like that. That's you have to work on what you have and understand what cards to play at what time. And so going on, you see Troy go from across the room. He's doing what Troy does. The kiss on the cheek and check. But he just seems to, I don't know if he's aware that Kobe is in town, but... Alright, so we'll go on. So anyway, we kind of see more of the personalities coming out. You see Amber, sitting down with Chris, KG, Smooth, KG, or whatever they call him. And he seems to have found his match. She's agreeing what he likes, talking about, splitting the bills, they're equals. That's what he wants to hear. So he's loving what he's hearing. So definitely she's going to be in his top. Then you see AJ with Andrea. He's like, nah, G. Exit stage left. He's trying to leave. So I mean Andrea, she's a very attractive female, but there's something else there. Very attractive woman. But I don't know if this medium is for her. Because she's not coming over. You can definitely see she's attractive. I'm not sure what her conversation is like, but she definitely has very low tolerance for nonsense. She doesn't she doesn't give you much to entertain, so she's been shutting down a lot of the guys. So anyway, AJ was like, nah, he wants to leave his go on, and he jumps on with Stacy. And then you have David, who is the real estate, mogul, investor. And then, of course, he's, does weddings. He's an officiator of weddings. He's sitting down, having a conversation with Tressa and Venetia. And he's talking about, abstinence. Refreshing and different. It's a good conversation that they have. So they go on there. And then, at the end of the brunch, Ida is in home. Now, I kind of had hopes for Ida because she was different. Because she had no filter, she tends to blurt out quite a few things, and so I thought that was refreshing and interesting. She keep things going. But I think with this season, they want to really cut out the fluff quick because they really had a bad season last season where it didn't appear that anyone was really there for what they said they were there for. So they have very little patience. So anyway, my God, Ida's been sent home. Anyway, so going on, so now they begin to show the individual dating. So then the first set of dates we have as Alexis and AJ have a date. And so we now know that AJ, gentleman initially referred to as El Cheapo, when he went on a date with Kyra where he left her to pay the bill. some reason about his car, but never explained it at that time, only explained it here. So anyway, so Alexis and AJ go on a date, and you know, he's doing his little smooth thing. I think what were they doing, like some painting or something, I don't remember what it was, or molding, some kind of arts and crafts. And so, you know, she's like really, she's doing what she did last week, and I'm sis, if you're watching, nah, she's coming on too strong. In fact, got to a point where AJ was like, yo, she out-aggressed him. Like, she was like, anything he'd say, she'd find a way to kind of, to give it in some kind of innuendo. It was becoming too much. So he was a little, I think that's with all males. When the female comes in a little stronger, it makes them pull back as opposed to them moving forward. So I think she's dropping to the bottom of his list. That we don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, she was just, you know, and that seems to be her style. She might need to change it. She continued to come on to him, which he did not find. He was not comfortable with it. You know, it's funny, they say, well, it's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun, right? Like, she the one coming on strong, and he's like, so anyway, moving on to Jason and Kyra. They go on a date, and you know, she has a little thing where she thinks he's really cute, and is here and there. They have a deep conversation with, you know, with him having a bout with depression, and she was able to relate with that because she had something similar occur to her. And then we have this thing where they have a group date where Troy does this thing where he's kissing around. At this point, Amber's like, I don't want any parts of this. Andrea was tolerating Troy, surprisingly so, because he was kind of kissing on the neck. Very uncomfortable. I think even for the viewer, it was uncomfortable watching the way Troy was kind of the touchy-feely with people. You know, they haven't gotten to a certain point yet where they should be free to do that. So I'm a little surprised by that, but he hasn't been checked yet. And then, of course, he's doing his thing where he's selling his little, oh, you know, talking about the traveling. Oh, we should do this together. And yeah. I think, yeah, we'll go on. And so, you know, the people I'm liking here is I like conversation where Joel and Liz are speaking, you know. I noticed that Liz has this nice little country twang going on. Of course, you know, with Joel, his New Orleans twang, it sounds nice. Of course, he has a little time. He's talking with Venetia just to let her know he's there. David's also doing his old little thing there as well. Another group date where there's, you know, Chris, AJ, Alexis, his date. You kind of see them kind of moving around. And it gets to a point where Diedrich and Tressa have a conversation. And I think something gets sparked in him where it's like, there's more to it than I thought. He's like, oh, you know, they talk, and he's like, I definitely would like to take you out and talk more and get to know you more. And she's a little surprised because I think on the prior episode they'd had a conversation where he is like, maybe he had expressed that maybe she wasn't his type. He had friend zoned her prematurely, and he's having second thoughts where he's like, you know what, no, let me get to know her. So, you know, he's telling her that he definitely wants to get to know her more. So there's Chris is talking with Stacy. Stacy seems to be on everyone's top. And Stacy tolerates him for a couple of minutes, and she's like, nah. I think she sixes stage left. She's looking at Diedrich and moves on to Diedrich. And so you still kind of see everyone kind of chopping up and seeing that, but you're seeing, I think the front runners for me are looking at this. Diedrich doesn't appear to be as shallow as I initially kind of judged him to be. Because initially I kind of judged him to be looking for someone to produce the heir to his throne. But he seems to be more, I guess, focused and intentional with his approach. So I'm pleasantly surprised by his approach. Of course, Joel is my favorite on top of favorite on top of favorite. Love him to death. Love him. David is doing okay. You know, he seemed a little confused in the beginning, but let's see how it goes. In terms of the females, I definitely like Liz. Stacy, she's okay. Andrea, I'm not really feeling her. I don't know, it's just this doesn't seem to medium for her. AJ, Kyra, I'm kind of, the jury's out on her. Amber, jury's out on her as well. Excuse the pun, but yeah. So my favorites definitely for the females are Liz, Venetia. I do like Tressa. And I do believe, yeah, that's it. Liz, Venetia, and Tressa. And then I'm just kind of watching to see about Kyra. For the guys, Joel's on top. Definitely, I'm impressed with Diedrich and then David. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, so we're coming on to the first, the guys' tavern, or what they call it, like the gentleman's lounge. So it does appear that Stacey is on top of everyone's list, apart from Chris, because she had walked away from him. I don't blame her. Okay, so anyway, and then at the bottom they have Andrea and Tressa. Now, is that a surprise? No, it's not a surprise, because definitely Tressa is funny, but she's more, full-figured, and so she may not be everyone's cup of tea. So anyway, they talk about, what they're doing, and so they pick the two. So they have David talk with Andrea, and then they have my guy, Diedrich, talk with Tressa. And of course, Diedrich had mentioned that he was still interested in Tressa, so they gave him the job too, where they would go out and then decide, like, who is going to be eliminated. So, Andrea and David, and I thought David does seem to be a nice sense. Ooh, let's go back for a second, please. Let's go back before the dates. We have that my guy. They're talking about, the guys are going back and forth talking, and then Joel, or rather, I believe it was Jason, was talking about he had spoken with Joel, and then mentioned to Joel that he was moving. And Joel said, sure, I'll swing by. You do get a lot of people when you say something, they're like, yeah, sure, I'll help. And the guy actually came by and really helped him. And then, Jason was like, he was just kind of really blown away. And he just wanted to appreciate him and call him a good guy. And then Joel just started, kind of had a little tear or two, because he was touched by Jason appreciating him. And he said something which I was definitely impressed with. He's like, yeah, yes, I may be looking for, looking for a love, but I'm not averse, or I'm actually also looking for a brotherhood. Joe, if you playing the game with us, you're doing good, because you had me at that. He was like, yeah, he's looking for this, but brotherhood. And just to also find out, I think I've been reading some of the comments and some of the videos that people have been, when they've been reviewing the show, someone said they'd known Joel to be a social worker and he'd gone above and beyond. Joel, you're winning right now. So anyway, back to the eviction dates. So we have Andrea with David. David's very kind. And you see Andrea, she looked lovely. She's in denim short shirt and these beautiful chocolate brown suede boots. And he kind of tells her that, according to the guy, she hadn't really put herself out there, which is, is kind of true, and that he felt that maybe this might not be the place for her, but at the appointed time, she'll find the one for her. And she wasn't ready to love. It was kind of sweet. He was gentle to her. They gave her a hug. And then going on to Diedrich and Tressa, he kind of explained that she was on the bottom. But then he expressed to the guys that he hadn't really gotten to know her yet, and he wanted to take her out on a date. And that other guys had also agreed with him. And so they had won, and they were able to keep her for another week. And so he invited her to have a real date where they could get to meet. And I kind of like that. I like the way it ended. Right to Love is one of my favorite shows. Just watching how, without them doing it on purpose, there is a way that the show tends to replicate what the dating scene looks like. So I'm really enjoying the show right now. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But in the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe. All right, this is Logo, over and out. Take care, folks.